Um,
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Collar Minutemen are still here, still on the air, and still bringing you the latest and greatest as to what's going on. Justin, how you been?
Busy. How about you guys?
yeah,
Well,
it's been busy. Yeah.
yeah. I've said it before. You know, life does not exclude us, and when things happen, and we know a lot of you all, our fans, have been wondering where we've been. Heard rumors that we got scared, that we got intimidated by the big leftist machine, but it's not true.
Mm-mm.
We're still here. So basically
If
what
I was
happened,
if I was them, I'd say that too.
yeah. So basically what happened, like I said, life happened. My mom got sick is what happened. She did come down with COVID. And when she got sick, I went back home because I had been around her, and I quarantined in my hometown for over 2 weeks. And of course, during that time, my mom was pretty bad off, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So I've been quarantined, and then of course been worried about condition of my mom, which now she has gotten a lot better. She's out of the hospital, but she's in a rehab because she's got to get her strength back. So it's all of this happened since before Thanksgiving up till now. So that was what's been going on with me. And the rest of the guys, like Justin said, they've been busy. So
Yeah, like I ended up getting sick right after your mom, and we're on different sides of the state. But yeah, I ended up getting COVID myself, quarantined, and I know some of you guys, man, if you've had any issues with COVID or whatever, I know it affects all of us differently. Me, it wasn't so bad, but I'm sure it's a lot harder. Like on Elgin's mother and some other people out there, it hits them a lot harder than it did me. So,
right.
man, pray for those guys.
Absolutely. But during that period of time, there's been a lot going on, a lot of information coming out, a lot of false information coming out from major news networks. So we're going to give you, this might be a long show. Hold on to your seat. We're going to lay a lot of information on you, and we're going to call it like it is. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Hmm.
So, Bill, what do you got you want to start us off with?
Yeah. The list is so long. Let's start with how about the COVID vaccine?
Okay, first
Man,
off, how many of us are going to take that?
What was you telling us about Caucasians my age?
oh my God, man. I cannot believe I read that out of the New York, what was it, the New York Post or the New York Times? But if you cannot say that this is legitimate racism, then I'm sorry, but you're a freaking idiot. That was garbage. I cannot believe I read this. Here it is. Oh, the Blaze. It was from the Blaze news outlet. Expert tells New York Times elderly white people should not get coronavirus vaccine in order to level the playing field with minorities. You're telling me your solution is to let's kill off white people. The same thing that you're complaining about what happened with the slave trade and Native Americans. Genocide. That's genocide. What the what? Are you serious?
Well,
Dude,
I wasn't going to
really?
take it anyway, but hey.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take it anyway either. I mean,
But
because I'm not in the army anymore, so they can't use me as that guinea pig.
Right.
yeah, by the way,
I still love the army. Don't get me wrong, but the way y'all do things is messed up.
I got my DD-214 in the mail. Finally.
Mm. You got
Anyway,
the military equivalent of parole orders.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Now, let me
hey,
ask you this one. Let me ask
huh?
you all. what about what was reported yesterday that if you don't take the vaccine, you can be fired from your job? What do you think about that?
That is illegal as hell. You cannot fire somebody and make somebody do anything to their body. Isn't that the whole point of the abortion issue?
My body, my choice.
Yeah, right? Until it comes to, well, it's for the greater good. You know what? Maybe we wouldn't be having some of these problems if some of those kids were allowed to live. Maybe they had the solution to this nonsense. But no, we'd rather take them out of the running.
But you know what's also interesting, guys? Out of everyone, when it comes to that COVID vaccine, out of everyone who's talking about not taking the vaccine and why not to take it, I don't know if you know or not, but somebody stepped up and it was very surprising. Louis Farrakhan came out and
Yep.
told black, do not take that vaccine.
And if there ever was a racist idiot out there, he's at the top of the list right now because the others are dead.
But
Go ahead.
But, you know, that's like the one shining light out of everything else he says. It's like, you know what? He's actually kind of right. Like, don't take this thing.
A lot of people don't realize this, but man, I mean, if you want to listen to Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, if you want to do that, that's okay. That's your choice. I'm all about, you know, I ain't trying to tell you how to live or nothing, but damn. You also need to realize that that man, Louis Farrakhan, I have heard him myself, like on media outlets, YouTube. He has openly supported L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology, pulling Scientology into the Muslim Brotherhood. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I feel like that weird guy, that designer in Zoolander. Like, am I taking crazy pills? I don't know what's going on, man. But yeah, Louis Farrakhan. So that goes to show you, I guess, take everything he says with a grain of salt. I mean, we're talking about a guy that believes in Xenu and the aliens coming, and now Louis Farrakhan's pulling the Muslim Brotherhood on board.
Oh, but there's
Whatever, man.
There's several things I've heard so bad about that vaccine. I mean, it was even reported yesterday too, and I think Bill brought this to my attention, that Chicago stopped all vaccines because they had 4 nurses in a row fall out sick and have to be hospitalized because they took the thing.
They took the vaccine?
Yes, they took it and fell out sick.
What's happening in the control group? I'd like to know that. Nothing. Dang, man, those poor nurses.
I mean, this is, of course, everyone I know in the medical field that I know, when it comes to vaccines, they all say, look, there's testing, there's trials, there's data to be taken, and, you know, there's all this stuff before they release it to the public so that they know it's not going to harm the public in any way, or at least the harm is not going to be as bad as the cure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Okay. You two, both military.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but during my time, I've had the experimental anthrax shots,
I've had the whole series.
the experimental rabies shots.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, after the anthrax, my arm was like that big around. I couldn't use it for 2 or 3 days. And then, you know, after we took the first series, they came back and said, well, we don't think that batch works. We want to do it again.
Oh, damn.
We ended up taking the anthrax stuff 3 times before they said, well, this one will probably work.
Yeah, I'm going to change my last statement. I don't know nothing about that. I got it in like 2003 and finished it in like 2004, something like that, 5. I can't remember. But yeah, you were in there whenever it was experimental. I forgot about that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I
Let's
got mine
try
long
this
after
and
you.
see if it works. Yeah. And then we had those experimental pills they had. It was supposed to be an anti-nerve agent pill.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. There was people going nuts after taking that stuff. And I mean,
They even did the same thing with like the malaria meds. You know, they're like, hey, try this. Now try this. Man, Primaquine. Holy crap, dude. That was the worst medication I ever took, man. I dreamed for 7 nights in a row in Iraq. I was dreaming that a 6-foot pencil was chasing me across the desert. Yeah, I mean, and then they're like, hey, we might need to cut this back on you. We just got new orders saying that too much may cause like psychosis and stuff. I'm like, well, thanks, bro. But it didn't go that far. I just had some goofy dreams, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This whole they're pushing it so bad, and then to boot, I wasn't able to send it to you guys, but there is a video out there that shows a doctor, and I've watched it, and golly, I wish I had sent it to you guys. Doctor sits down in a chair to demonstrate him taking the COVID vaccine. There is one of his colleagues next to him with a syringe to give him the COVID vaccine in the arm. But when you look at the video, and most of us have been around syringes enough, it's an empty syringe.
in fact, that's what I'm reading right now. It's picture when Nancy Pelosi's getting her vaccine. In the picture, the guy's holding the needle up to her arm and still got the cap on the needle.
Yes.
Okay. And the fact checkers here are saying, oh, no, she took it. Okay. She may have, because she was supposed to have a news conference that afternoon at like 1 o'clock after her COVID shot. And her staff comes out and abruptly postpones it to later in the day, which eventually was canceled. And honestly, I don't think anybody's seen Nancy since she took that vaccine. I've been looking to see if she's made any appearances since the vaccine, and I can't find any.
I was going to say, I haven't heard anything, seen anything.
Good Lord.
Maybe this vaccine ain't so bad.
Yeah, I know, right? You know what? Test it for us, liberals. Test it for us. Just go through the line and prove it to me that it's safe, okay? Go for it. I saw this tweeted out today, and it made a lot of sense to me. It was, why are we testing or giving all these first injections and testing on our medical personnel? If it does go south, who's going to take care of the rest of us? And we can our whole medical stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I thought the entire medical staff here in one slot.
This is the most. Sorry.
Go ahead, Elgin.
I was just going to say, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
You can't make it up.
Oh, man. There's a reason why the doctors and stuff need to be on the outside of these experiments and control groups, man. Because they're the ones that have the mind to like try and fix, or they've been tracking the problems. This is why we were dead set against Bruce Banner trying to test that shit out on himself. That's how he ended up being the Hulk. I mean, my goodness. Hell, people read a comic book. Don't you guys know what's going to happen?
Hey, I think the Simpsons have it better. If you remember, not the Simpsons, but Family Guy, they had it better when Family Guy members got superpowers, and then Mayor West tried to do the same thing, and he wound up with lymphoma.
Right, man. That's what I don't understand. These guys are, you know what's amazing? These people think that they are quote unquote woke. Are you kidding me? Yeah. They've gone past reason and logic. It's all about how I feel. You know what, man? The world don't give a damn about your feelings.
Right.
This is why you're there where you're at. And this is going to be the destruction right here, is stupid things like that.
So, I'm going to say it. People, take that vaccine at your own risk. I'm not taking
Right. If you feel brave enough and you want to, like, you know what, some of those people that do volunteer, I got some respect for them because they're like, you know what, nothing in this world was met without some sort of sacrifice, you know. I mean, the best things in the world you sacrifice for. And some of these people, I mean, some of us joined the military to protect the country.
Right.
Well, you know what, some people, man, they don't mind being the guinea pig for something like that. Me, I don't have enough guts for that.
Right. Angela.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna just voluntarily like, hey man, hit it up. Because right now, I didn't trust the government growing up or recently or even when I was in. I mean, I did my job and I followed my orders like I was supposed to.
Right.
I suffered and when I screwed up and I paid for it. I've got my own field grade Article 15. But from what I understand, who doesn't if you're over the rank of E5?
Well,
But anyways,
happened to me. That's
true.
for discussion.
You got out before then, right?
Well, there was an episode. Let's just say that was an episode. But we'll go.
Those things happen.
Yeah, things happen. Tempers flare.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know. I respect some of these people for their decision to try and do that, but man, I'm not taking that risk.
Listen, here's the thing that I explain to people, and Justin, I know you'll know where I'm coming from. Let's put this the way it is. God created us.
Yes.
The human being is not anything that can be duplicated by man. You cannot duplicate the eyeball. You cannot duplicate the brain cells. You cannot duplicate the nerve endings that allow you to feel. The human body in itself is amazing, and it is resilient. So, like I've said before, since man's been on this planet, there's been the plague, there's been smallpox, but yet and still, the population has flourished. Now, will there be loss of life? Yes, that's part of life. But
hell, Spanish flu. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You've got a population that's still flourishing. So if you are that scared and unconfident as to what the human body can actually resist, and you know, that's on you. But I'm telling you right now, the human body in general is an amazing thing, and it will build up tolerances and it will protect you. I'm going to leave it with that.
Man, and I get these questions all the time since I'm a martial arts coach. I run a facility here where we live, and I get these questions all the time. Well, what are you doing to keep these kids safe and healthy? Exercise, water, eating healthy, not McDonald's every freaking day just to shut the kid up before you get home. No, man, you want to boost that immune system, eat right. You ain't gonna find vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B in Happy Meals.
Nope.
Unless you get the oranges, I guess. I don't know. But
yeah, soak in that sunlight.
Yeah, right, man. If you guys want to be, I think that's personally a reason. I may have a little more body fat than a lot of people, you know, my age. I'll be 40 in February. But you know what, man? I'm still active. I'm on the mats, rolling Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and boxing is my specialty. I'm a boxing coach. That right there, you know, kept my immune system up enough to where I didn't get deathly ill like some people. And I think that contributed to it. Right. I mean, I'm almost positive. But man, kids, get them babies outdoors, man. Let them get that vitamin D, their body to process vitamin D from being in the sunlight.
Yep.
Come on, man. We can do this. Not some magic. And how many times have we always told people there's no magic pill, there's no magic injection, there's no magic thing that's just gonna, I mean, think about it. How many men out there, I gotta buy this pill, it's gonna help my sex drive. Or, hey, this is gonna save my life in the long. It's gonna make my hair longer and thicker. Nah, man, a lot of times we're just born with what we got. All right.
Right.
Well, the thing that worries me about the whole vaccine thing is it uses that mRNA,
Oh gosh, don't
which
start.
actually rewrites your DNA.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd have to look into that one. I didn't know that.
yeah. What Bill's talking about?
Supposedly tricks your DNA into thinking something else is going on. Now, until these two drugs were cleared for use, no other mRNA injection vaccine has been approved. And they've been trying to get them approved for years. And this crap went through in how many months?
Mm-hmm.
Less than a year.
Yep. And that's not good.
But you know what?
I mean, there's just too many questions about it.
Well, I think that's going to segue us into this next little spot here.
Well, I have a question for you real quick on that.
Yeah.
You said it's supposed to redo your DNA or rewrite your DNA to a point.
Yeah, it tricks it into thinking is something else is going on. Some doctors say that it's going to rewrite your DNA. Some doctors say it just tricks your DNA.
Well, then, when we start messing with our DNA, we're starting to push into like other things. And I refer again back to read a comic book. When has crap ever gone right messing with the way the good Lord designed DNA in animals, humans, and all of that? We're gonna have this is how we start the zombie apocalypse. This is how we start like Jurassic Park, but for real. You know, stop playing God.
Yeah,
man.
But I think that's a good segue into this next. I'll segue us into the next topic, which is, you know, these elites are pushing this on us. You know, all of these politicians who are up there saying, yeah, we got to make the public take it. You know, are our politicians taking it? We don't know what they're taking and what they're not.
They are taking the trips to, or they were taking trips to Epstein's Island.
Oh,
here's a question. Just going along with what you're saying there. I still can't wrap my head around why we need this vaccine when we have over a 99% survival rate, and we got the flu vaccine, and people still get the flu. So, I mean, if this thing was killing 50% of the population, yeah, let's get out and do something. 99% survive.
Right.
Control.
Let it take its course.
Control.
We're going to get past this.
Yeah, it's all to control the populace. Scare tactics and control of you, me, and everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good way for them to start saying, shit, it's mandatory. And then what do? They sneak that little chip in there when they give you the injection.
This has been the longest 15 days to bend the curve that I don't know what kind of calendar they're using, but remember when this all started. We're going to take 15 days to bend the curve or straighten the curve or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
15 days, people. That's all it's going to take, and we'll have this going. That's 8 months ago, and we're still doing the same crap.
Right.
They can't stop. I mean, a politician can't stop a virus. It ain't going to happen no matter how damn smart they are. They're not going to stop a virus.
Mm-hmm. Virus, by definition, is incurable. You have to let it wait it out.
Right.
Now, we do have vaccines that's supposed to prevent it, but, man, the only way to prevent something, man, is really throughout time. We get sick. We eat better. We exercise. And then our bodies take over and start saying, you know what? We're used to this now. It's okay.
Exactly.
We develop the immunities. I mean, where do these people think that our resiliency came from. Decades, centuries
Yeah, it's
of
over.
being sickness. Yeah, man. So I think it's kind of arrogant for the human population to continually claim that we're about to either destroy or improve on what our creator made.
It's ignorant.
Yeah, man, most humans couldn't even change a damn tire, but yet they're woke when it comes to global warming and everybody's racist and I don't know what freaking bathroom to use.
Oh gosh. Well, like we were saying, it's on you people. In our best opinion, and from the experiences that we have had, I'm telling you, this is a no-go. And
Not a good
mayors,
idea.
politicians, governors, if they're trying to forcefully push this on the American public, one, that's wrong, and someone will have to do something about it. And the only thing I can say, you can only push so hard before you wind up getting pushed back.
Yep.
And but you know, Justin, you mentioned Epstein Island, which then brings me to our Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Judge Roberts. Bill, I think we got a little update that he was on the flight log to Epstein Island, maybe?
That's what they're putting out there. In fact, the one that is bringing this to the forefront is Lem Wood, one of Trump's attorneys. He's showing the flight log, which I've got a copy saved here somewhere. And there's John Roberts' name right on the flight log.
Oh.
So
He was just named Chief Justice after Scalia died, right?
yeah, I think so. No, I think he was Chief Justice then.
Damn.
Yeah, he's been for a
Oh,
while.
he was then? Oh,
Yeah.
man, he's been the Chief Justice for what? My fault. Sorry, I don't keep up with the terms of those guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you start connecting the dots on these because we're going to be bringing you some good stuff. So basically, there's also a photo of Chief Justice Roberts out there sitting on a couch with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Now, have you seen? Okay, they posted that picture on Twitter and on Parler and a little bit everywhere else. You should see some of the comments that the left is making on these photos.
Oh,
Number one, they're saying it's not him.
oh.
Number two, well, they're both consenting grown adults. I mean, they're already trying to justify it, and their logic escapes me. Okay.
If they were just so concerned with, well, they're two consenting adults, then nobody would have blown Clinton and Lewinsky out of the water like they did. So I don't know, man.
Well, come on, man. Look, we all know about Epstein's Island and what it was about.
Yep. Sick man.
This just shows you how far up the corruption goes. If they have a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court who has visited that island, and you all know what was on that island and what went on that island, and Epstein didn't kill himself, then look at how far the corruption has gone. I mean, this is unbelievable. We are living in a historic time at this very moment with everything that is going on. The corruption is so deep, you have to ask yourself, how can we ever come out of this? If it's gone that far to where a Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, and I'm going to say this, is in the hand of someone else who essentially they want to control us and our money
Easily to blackmail that man.
What's that?
I said that makes it easy to blackmail that Chief Justice and get your way with whatever you want.
Yeah.
Now, here's another question. Elgin, I think you and I were talking about the whistleblower that was outside the room when they got the Texas lawsuit
Yes.
to the Supreme Court and said they could hear the Chief Justice cussing and raising his voice and saying, we will not take this case. And it boiled down to he was afraid of the riots. That if he took the case, it would cause riots across the country. Well, I'm sorry.
That's his job.
But by not taking the case, I think he's going to find out he's going to cause a lot more riots across the country. I think it's going to get bad coming soon.
Roberts better not be a coward.
We've all seen the signs. We've seen the warnings. Can you find, let me ask either one of you, can you find a box of ammo on the shelf in any store around?
Nothing. I mean, I found some shotgun shells the other day, but there was 2 boxes on the shelf.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, people are preparing. Thank God they're preparing.
Yeah.
Something's going to come to a head here before long.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't keep pushing and pushing and pushing on a person for so long. I mean, you can only beat a dog so long before it just says, you know what, my life will be my life and I'll attack you until I die. Mm-hmm. So you keep beating that dog and it may cower, but eventually that dog is going to jump up and bite that hand that's attacking it.
That's right.
So,
I mean, I think throughout human history, we've proved that one too many times, you know. Exactly. Shit gets to a point where humans are fed up and can't even go to work and can't support themselves or their families, and shit is going wrong. Man, they should be scared to death of waking everybody up.
And that's the thing. I know for a fact there are people out there who have the attitude of, well, they just need to just try to figure out something and make this stop before anything happens. And I've talked to some of those people, and it's like, you know, that other people have had that same idea in history. But history has proven to us that eventually you're going to have to stand your ground at some point. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, it's really getting bad. And mainstream media is lying to anyone who's watching it. They have been reporting a Biden win for the last, 2 months. More than that, actually. Even before the election, they've been predicting a Biden win. And there has not been a decided winner yet. It's not over.
Carl says it is.
I know they do, but it's not over. Which kind of brings us back into something else. These Dominion machines. Justin, you heard about them?
No, a little bit. I remember the 2 states that came up was Nevada and Georgia, I believe. Was that it?
That's the one. Actually, looks like they're going to flip and turn. And I think Nevada did go Trump.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah, it's still up in the air.
But that whole deal has got a line of corruption all in itself. Because, Bill, correct me if I'm, the company that makes the Dominion machines, Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris have vested interest in that company.
Yep.
There's a surprise.
Well, here's the shocker, too, as reports are out now that even Mitch took a campaign donation from Dominion right before the election.
Oh, man.
So
Oh, Mitch, you're killing me, man.
Who can we trust? American people, who can we trust?
at this point right now, each other.
Yep,
If the
that's right.
corruption has gone this far and this deep, when you step out your door, you might as well just step out and breathe the breath of air and thank goodness this is one more day of freedom that I have. Because at this point, I don't know how we're going to really get out of this. I really don't.
Yep.
I mean, one way to do it gonna call for a lot of fist fighting and a lot of gun shooting.
Yeah. Man, these people don't realize they're trying to turn this place into the Wild West. Now, granted, back then people were a lot more careful with what came out of their mouth. But man, it's going to be crazy. People don't even realize it, but
Well,
they think they're woke, and they think that, oh well, I know how to fix it. We just need to love everyone and everything. And if you feel like you're a toaster and in love with a refrigerator, you should be that.
well, here's the other thing too: is the mainstream media, they know about the Dominion, so they're now having to report some on Dominion, but they are actually turning it back to Russia again.
Yeah. Okay. DNI had to put a report out, had to have it ready by Friday, 45 days after the election, on outside election interference. They got a lot of pushback from the other agencies. This is the Defense Director of National Intelligence, DNI. He did his report, but then the FBI and the CIA and everybody contradicted it, said, oh, no, it's not the Chinese, it's the Russians. And he's like, no, it's the Chinese. Then we find out there's over 2,000 Chinese spies running loose in the United States right now, and they're working for just about every mayor, governor, and congressman in the United States. And old Stalwell, whatever his name is, was having an affair with Fang Fang, who was the Chinese spy that he hired as an intern. She's already been busted.
Yeah,
Fang Fang's her name.
I didn't hear you. What?
Okay, Senator Stalwell, how do you say that? Stalwell?
Oh, yes.
He got busted having an affair with a Chinese spy. Her name is Fang Fang, okay? And so they're trying to take him off all the intelligence committees now, because he's the one who pushes the Russia, and come to find out he's in bed with China. Literally in the bed with China.
If you all have been keeping up with our videos, you would know that we have been pushing this China deal months back before this. We have been telling you that China.
Not Russia.
No. And it blows my ever-loving mind that all of these people, I'm just going to say Chinese spies, they have strategically targeted all of these people in these public offices. Governors, you said governors, senators, mayors.
All the way down to mayors. They own judges, they own mayors, they literally own most of our government.
And do you all remember that commercial that was banned from the internet? Justin, you remember it? The one where the Chinese professor was talking to the Chinese students, and he was talking about all the great, empires in history. And at the end, he says, even the great America failed. And then he's like, and now they work for us.
That's some good propaganda.
Not only was it propaganda, but it seemed to be true if it comes true.
Now, I wonder if anybody else has put two and two together here about all this. All this stuff started happening when Trump put his foot down and said, you're going to start paying Europe, you're going to start paying your own bills. China, we're tired of getting screwed on business agreements. You're going to start pulling some weight. And I want American jobs to go to Americans on American soil.
Hmm?
I'm like, bam, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted out of a president.
The New World Order. It's not part of their agenda. I mean,
Right.
they had planned, by now, we would probably be knee deep in the New World Order had their plan worked and Hillary got elected.
Right.
Would have ran the rest of the way into the dirt after Obama. Then Biden. I mean, their plan. Trump was a chink in their little plan there.
Yep.
He was a monkey wrench somebody threw in there they wasn't expecting.
Yep.
And that's exactly why I'm still with him.
Oh yeah.
Because it's greater good, not just us, them, blah blah blah. Man, he is trying to take care of people. And most of us that have joined the military. Now, I'm not saying everybody that joined the military or veterans or people that are active duty right now. I'm not saying all of them support Trump. That'd be asinine for me to say. But most of us, we like that. We want to see leaders, look out for our best interests. The economy hasn't been anywhere near where it's been until he came to office. He started putting that foot down, started creating jobs. I absolutely love the fact that he wants to keep jobs here. I hear people every day talk about how they want to go overseas and help impoverished areas. You know what, man? You need to come to Kentucky, and you want to see some impoverished areas. That's where white privilege ends for me, is when I go to Hazard County, Harlan County, a lot of these places, even here in Pulaski County, there's some places, man, that I didn't have no easy life growing up, but man, sometimes some of the way these guys live make me feel like I grew up in the Hilton. So I don't know, man. There's people that right here in your own neighborhoods that need help.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's who we should be helping.
Yep.
Our own state, our own community, everything. But even if I lived back in Oklahoma, it's the same thing. I'd go back and take care of the people around me.
Right. Well, back, this China thing, we've been talking about it. I said it months ago. China wants to rule the world. And China figured out that the way they're going to do it is through economics. It's not going to be on the battlefield with tanks, planes, missiles. And they have shown that they are doing it. And I said this before, China got caught in Africa illegally mining gold in Africa. They had a system set up there. They had thousands of cell phones. A number of Chinese people got arrested in Africa. I told you all about that months back. I mentioned it before. And China had this system set up where it's almost like, if you all watch Stranger Things, that thing in Stranger Things had all these little leech lines that came out from it that went. China is doing the same thing. It's only economically. And now that you see, they've got judges, governors, mayors, all on their payroll, to where they can wind up forcing you and your mortgage and your car payment and have control of your money, is what it was going to wind up being.
And let's not forget, where'd the virus come from?
China! The Chinese virus, says the Hodge twins like to say.
You can't say that. The Chinese people are good. That is racist for you to say that.
I got lots of friends that are Chinese, man, but it doesn't change the fact that damn thing came from China. Wuhan.
Yeah. So people,
anything bad that comes out of the out of the States, man, American, it's the American problem, the American greed, blah, blah, blah.
And
This is the longest anything made in China has lasted, though. So.
Yeah, right.
uh, I just want to plug that video again. If you all haven't watched it, watch it. Riding the Dragon. It tells about the Bidens and their connection to China. Riding
Have
the
they
Dragon.
gotten busted in enough crap?
Oh, well,
Oh,
not
Joe is named as accepting a bribe in court in Ukraine. Burisma testified they gave Joe Biden, not Hunter, they gave Joe Biden $900,000 bribe. They testified to that in court under oath. Where's the media on that? Where's the media on that? He is a fugitive from Ukraine. Now, how's he going to be the president when he goes over there? He's going to go to jail. I mean, come on.
You can't do that. You cannot be the president and be charged internationally for a crime like that.
Oh,
Especially bribery. Because, doing. It's ridiculous how they cover up for these people.
I guess it's about time we found out who the real lying dog face pony soldier is.
Yeah.
I mean, everything we're telling you is true. We've said it before. Our sources that we get all this information from, Newsmax, Next News Network. We go get stuff from Parler, Spreely. What is it? One? Is it News One? My News One?
Yeah. One News Network.
Yeah, One News Network. These are sites that you have to seek out to get this information. Please, whatever you do, CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, and even Fox News, they're all on the take. They're on the take. And if they're not directly involved as far as linked to China, they've got a debt that they got to pay probably to them, probably. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're finding this out, that some of these people are indebted to China.
And yet the American population, or well, not the majority, but these liberals out there, hear all this crap about Biden and his son and their issues, just like they knew about the Clintons back in the 90s, mm-hmm. bury their heads in the sand and still pretend, well, they're still the best. They know. And little do they know, man, they're selling our country out and our and their own people out.
Just
and they're death. They don't care.
Throw this out here real quick. We are 55 minutes.
I know there's a lot of information and a long. Bear with us. We're gonna keep going a little bit if we can.
Because after 1 hour, it will take probably about 2.5 hours to load.
You want to start another one right after that, though? We could.
I'd say 3 o'clock, probably my 1 hour episode here is probably going to have to do it for us today.
Okay. Well, real quick, let's see. In case you guys didn't know, the United States military is positioned off the east and west coast of the United States right now. For those of you all who didn't know.
And what is strange about that? Nothing really, except it's Christmas, and they normally don't do this around Christmas.
No.
We got 2 carrier groups off the East Coast, 2 carrier groups off the West Coast. Large troop concentrations been spotted on the southern border and the northern border.
These are all facts. I've got a friend who got information that there was a lot of military cargo moving in C-17s and C-130s. I'm just saying, people.
Don't usually do this around Christmas. If there's no emergency, it's Christmas time. And don't put anything past something happening on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, because it happened before.
Yes.
What did George Washington do? When did he do it? Christmas Eve.
Yep.
Rode across the Potomac.
Smart move.
Attack on the British on Christmas Eve.
It was a smart move. I'm sorry, but man, if I'm fighting a war, if I'm going to win, holidays aren't going to stop me from doing something.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're saying is, look, this is a bad time. You're going to have to look up this information. Mainstream media is not going to report it. They are not your friends.
They're in with it.
I know what we're saying sounds like that we are, it really sounds like that we're trying to cause division, but we're actually trying to keep you informed and keep you on a degree of alert yourself, because we've never seen anything like this in our country. This is a first. And we don't want you to be caught off guard, because it's going to take the American people standing together to get back this country.
That's right.
Totally agree.
Well,
now, be safe, be observant, because like I said, Elgin just said, the news is not going to tell you this stuff. You're not going to see this on, I'll talk to people, well, I didn't see that on CBS. No, you're not going to see that on CBS.
Mm-mm.
You're not going to see that on ABC. You're not going to see that on NBC. It's just not going to happen. Everybody seems
to think that it's not real until it hits the news, man. When it hits the news for the invasion, you don't think that we had assets and they had assets in place a year, maybe 2 years before already, prepping? Stuff like this doesn't just happen.
Just like all this stuff, okay, before the election, everyone knew about Hunter Biden's laptop. Everyone knew what was going on there, but the news would not report it. Now they're starting to put out a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there, but they knew it was there. They didn't put it out to protect Biden. Now, I was talking to Elgin. Somewhere they got a memo leaked. Don't know who leaked it or where it came from, but it supposedly was from Zuckerberg to one of the news networks. I think it was MSNBC. That we've got to keep all this laptop stuff quiet. Don't report on it until after the election. Then after the election, we can report it, and then we'll have our first female black president.
Harris, she's a traitor. I don't care what anybody says.
She's not black.
She's Indian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, she's not black. She's
not
Indian.
Native American, but actual Indian from India.
I'm going to go ahead and say this because I am Native. Feathers, dots. Casinos, gas stations. Yeah, that's racist. Call me a racist. I don't care. Just pointing out the obvious.
But we'll be back as best we can. Let me remind you all, we're on Spreely. We are on Parler.
Mm-hmm.
We're on MeWe.
Mm-hmm.
You can find us on MeWe. That's a good site. Our older episodes are still on Spotify. Haven't uploaded any audio to there in a while. Most of it's been going to YouTube. We are on YouTube until maybe after this video, but we're also on Rumble. So if you can't find us on YouTube, you can find us on Rumble. We do still have a Facebook page. And then we've got our website, which I have been updating here recently, bluecollarminutemen.com.
And we're on Magabook.
Magabook. I forget about that one. Magabook. Justin, you got some few words?
Man, pay attention to what's going on, not just in the news, of course. Limit your sources, but man, pay attention to what's going on around you. Your physical locations, especially in these big cities, up in the north, down in the south, man. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Open your eyes, be vigilant, because it could be your livelihood, your life, your kids, your family that could pay the price for that. So, man, all you guys, be ready. That's all I can say.
Bill?
Not to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but it's always a good idea. It's always a good idea to have some extra water and extra food on hand. You never know what could go on. I mean, the big hack we had last week, they got into the nuclear power plant. They got into a little bit of everything. And you never know when just maybe some kid hacking is going to put out the fire grid. You know,
Yep.
put out the fire grid, you're not pumping water, you're not having heat. Just have some stuff prepared. It's always a good idea to be prepared.
Right.
Be safe. Elton?
Well, as always, like I said, all three of us are prior military service. We love this country. I'm a history person, and I'm always going to say I'm an American. Ladies and gentlemen, the main thing is this country has a history looking back of standing up when it needs to be. And it's the people of this country. It's the people of this country who have always made it. And it was your grandparents, your great-grandparents, with their blood and sweat that helped build this country, that helped defend this country. And that strength, same blood and sweat and courage lives in all of you. So God bless you all. God bless America. And stay vigilant. We'll see you next time. Blue Collar Minute.